Hello, everybody. Today we're here, I'm here, you're here, for SNG'S Remix Rumble, the very first, tournament of its kind, first modded arms tournament ever. So very exciting, very good stuff. Tell your friends, tell your family, just don't tell Nintendo. I don't need to become a brand risk tonight. We're already part of the way through the bracket because we had a little bit of an issue with getting me to run my special Nintendo Switch. But we've got that fixed up and good to go now. So we're going to have the first match over to you shortly here in just a moment. So sit tight. We're going to have a banger. I actually need to look at the bracket. I was so busy trying to fix stuff. I don't know where we're at currently, but we just started. I can tell you that. All right. By the way, for anybody here, how is audio? How is audio?
Hello.
Oh, hello. And joining me is Maleev. Oh my goodness. Whew. You shouldn't sneak up on a guy like that. Oh, you know what? No, you did actually message me back like a minute ago. I should have expected that. I was busy looking at brackets. So, like, to get you caught up, right, we had a little bit of a tech problem running my special Nintendo Switch. So we've already started partway through the bracket, through round ones. So we're just sitting here hanging out, waiting for the first matchup to queue up for us.
Okay. I just realized what the problem was. I was so confused because I was like, oh, it's not starting for another half hour. Silly me. I forgot I wasn't logged into Challenge, so it was a different time zone from what I'm used to.
Oh,
so
no.
Not only are you, I'm having a little bit of a goof here as well.
Oh no.
Speaking of, I am going to disappear for maybe 30 seconds just to make sure that you don't hear random screaming birds or whatever.
I'll be right back. It is appreciated. It is very appreciated.
Alright, so how are things looking? How are things rolling so far?
Well, we've got Burke's in here, and we're waiting on Burke.
Hey Brett, real quick, the chat you wanna type in is arena stream, not tournament lobby.
Yeah, just saw that. Okay, bye-bye. Out of the commentary booth.
Bye-bye.
Get me our next match.
You're not a commentator!
See ya.
I don't care if Theoben has his name on it. He's not a commentator. He is too scared to put on the headset.
Yeah, so we gotta gossip instead. It's just gonna be you, me, and a bunch of cheesemay.
Is it really gossip if it's open for like the entire internet? Like, is it truly goss?
Well, I was going to use this as a transition to be like, let's talk some cheesemay about some of our players here so we could start to get to know them a little bit more.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. So what can you tell me about Burke and Verts? Do you know
Virus.
anything? Virus. So, oh my god, the X is a U. That's so clever. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
What can you tell me? Because I know nothing.
So, Burke, I honestly know very, very little about. This definitely seems like a player that's either been kind of in the background for a while, or kind of found a way through this new opportunity that SNG has blessed a lot of players with, through this fantastic new modification, this unique timeline of arms, if you will. And so I don't know exactly all the details going on there, but I do know Virus a little bit. They are a player that used to play a while ago. Looking here, I believe Twintel main. Used to play a little bit online. Has been in contact with the ARMS community for a little while. Definitely has a little bit of know-how about this game. So definitely one of our potentially more experienced players here. So I'm curious to see how far he's going to be able to go in this bracket, because there's a lot of tough competition waiting further ahead.
Tough competition in a meta nobody really knows all that well, because at its core, very similar game, but at the same time, all the arms are just a little bit different, so it plays a little bit differently, it's balanced a little bit differently, and there are some arms in here that do entirely different things that aren't in the base game. So going to be really interesting to see how everybody ends up working with all the changes, for sure.
Indeed, indeed. We've got a whole swath of new arms, tools to be able to play with. Even the stages have a little bit of stylistic change to them. Why don't we take a look at a couple of the new arms that we've got going on here while we're waiting for things to get geared up?
Yeah, that'd be cool. How would you like to tell us about them while I try to put us in tournament mode, or would you like to, how you want to do that?
I was kind of hoping you'd go into set arms so I could look at the list and do my best to remember.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
I mean,
awesome.
I could look up a list. I could look up a wiki or something, too.
Yeah, look up a list real quick, because I am trying my hardest to get us into tournament mode.
Well, I'll just start by doing the more obvious vagaries that we could potentially weasel our way around in by noting things like Toaster is no longer an arm in this game. That's right. The most popular arm in this game does not exist any longer. You do not get that old, reliable, flaming boxing glove available. Instead, you've got a few different options. There's a wind-based one. There's a poison-based one, if I remember correctly. Things have changed up quite a bit. A lot of the arms that you know and love have had their elements adjusted into new types. And alongside that, we actually have a couple of new arm types. The Slicer being a new one in particular, which was discovered some time ago in the backlogs of the beta stuff and details, where it kind of functions like it uses the Slapamander's model, but it's a much more, from what I understand, it's a much more like close range weapon. Kind of comes out and does a quick slap in a, what would it be, a 60-70 degree angle?
Yeah, it's very, very sharp. Yeah, very sharp.
So it's a very interesting new tool that we have not seen used in any competitive formats up to this point. So I'm very eager to see what comes of it. Here we go. I've got a nice list available now. Huge thanks to those who manage the ARMS Wiki. You can find more information through armswiki.org, which just has details about so many things from the ARMS community. You've got players in there. You've got tournament histories. You can find myself in there. And you can easily find ARMS Remix in it.
Wow.
And that lets us look at a couple of things, like instead of the Phoenix, we have the Bennu, which is a explosive bird. Now, explosive type arms are usually some of the more meta picks. So all of a sudden having the bird get an explosion means that people were kind of like, fire was good, electric was good, but they never really were able to carry through with their points, with their purpose. But having a blast all of a sudden, that kind of changes the name of the game, and that might bring a lot more interest in. Alongside of that, we used to have the Biffler, which was a blind Hydra-like arm. But now we've got the Biffster, which is a poison one. I just imagine that's going to be way scarier than the Biffler was.
Yeah, it's not too fun to go against. I've had the pleasure, I guess you could say, a couple times. It's not my idea of fun, if you know what I mean.
Indeed. On top of that, things like the Glusher, which was actually meta discussed for a little while, being one of the best, if not the best, heavy arm just in terms of speed, movement, and having an additional explosion that didn't really get in. You couldn't get yourself self-punished because of its explosive state. Instead, we've got the Slusher, which is an ice element version of that, which I can't imagine the amount of terror you can put into somebody's life by having an ice-type heavy arm, especially when it's something like a Blorp or a Glusher. There's so absolutely a plethora of different things available that we can kind of look through and choose. And I'm just excited to see what people start experimenting with, what they try to go with. There's the new Knuckle Duster, which is it's like a Roomba instead of the Scorpion. I don't remember exactly how it moves. We'll have to see it in motion. Hopefully we get to see it in play. There's the Gumback, which is like the Clapback, but instead it sticks things on, and those attacks kind of get stuck there, so that adds a lot of interesting gameplay. I remember I was playing through the Arms Grand Prix, and it's very entertaining to see a headlock just get all 6 of their arms stuck on the Gumback. It's absolutely delightful. Oh, we have a nightmare arm here too. The Buzzard, which is it's the Scully. It goes that fast, and it tracks onto its target super well. But this one is stun-based. So you are just like bolting after people and making their lives miserable. We've also got, if you still want something effective as a glove, let's see. We've got, your best bet would probably be the Breezer, which is a wind-based glove. We've got a standard Apex, which is probably the closest to your standard boxing glove at this point. We've got the Goopy, which is probably the closest to the Toaster, I guess, but now you got a blind effect. So there's a lot of rebalancing that's happened without even leaning too much into the damage or like the statistics. Like the Toaster moves like the Toaster does. But instead of being fire damage, it's now blind. And I imagine that rebalances things a lot.
Hey,
just
real
because,
quick, not to cut you off while you're talking about arms, and serving is a really good distraction for me. I'm stupid, right? What is the difference between setting up LAN play and tournament mode, so that way everything's unlocked?
Oh, let's see.
Because the steps that I see for tournament mode just activate LAN play.
Oh dear. I'm just gonna probably be looking at the same resource you're looking at. One is the left stick in LNR, the other is right stick in LNR, I believe.
See, I was seeing that it's right stick.
Try left stick?
Yeah, we're gonna try left stick after I figure out what my left stick button. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Turns out I'm stupid.
I thought you were Brett. Chat, what's the name of this guy? Stupid. Is it stupid? Is his name Brett? Is it Wills? What's this guy's deal? He got headphones with little pink ears on them. It's all cute like, and he's got glasses. Who wears glasses these days? He got a shirt. He's got a good voice.
Okay, awesome.
Well,
We're finally going. Thank you. By the way, thank you. But oh my goodness, I finally figured out tournament mode. We are only I want to say we're. Oh lord. Oh no. We're 17 minutes into the tournament, and I've only just figured out tournament mode. Woo!
it do be like that.
It do be like that. It do be like that. It's not every day I'm playing ARMS on my special Nintendo Switch. You know?
Yeah, it's a little complicated. Sometimes it's easy to forget what buttons do what.
Especially,
You gotta kind of find the controller how they work.
Yeah, so like here's like the thing, right? Because I really like the ability on my special Nintendo Switch to use a mouse and keyboard, right, instead of an actual controller. So I have way more buttons to remember what they do.
Yeah, no, it's gonna cause a little bit more complication, but that's fine. It's fine. We got it all sorted out because while you call yourself stupid, you are smart enough that you were able to solve this problem. So congratulations.
Thank you, and I think that's really that's what the game is really all about. I think is discovery and self-improvement, for sure. And I think we could all learn something from me being a dumbass.
There are lessons that can be deferred from this very situation. That is absolutely true. Like, if we want to tear it apart, there are life lessons that can be learned from silly little moments like this. Just like you were saying, that's kind of how ARMS works too, and a lot of fighting games, mind you, is that it's a lot of paying attention to how neutral kind of plays out, how your actions play in, and the consequences as your opponent responds, whether they be good or bad, and then working to better understand what you've pieced together from those situations to further yourself better and refine your skills. It's a learning experience, being like, oh, this arm sucks. Oh, maybe I shouldn't make this motion because when I dash to the left, when they're punching to the left, I get hit and then I die. It's how we all work. And we all flow. And we learn and grow.
And you know, whenever life gives you lemons and causes your special Nintendo Switch to crash, you make lemonade and you get right back in there. That's exactly what happened to Burke, and he didn't give up. And so here we are, about to actually play a match. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
So what are you excited about most as we're going to be stepping into our first match here? Are we looking forward to seeing how the stage looks different, what arms the players are going to be coming in, any other changes that they might have? I believe, am I mistaken in that there is a new character, or is that a separate entity
that's
on
like
its own?
a separate thing that's not like released yet. So I mean, technically that's maybe like, no, I guess like SNG has posted pictures of it. So like, that's not really a leak. But it's not out yet. It's not out yet. So we're just looking at new looking stages and arms, new skins for the characters. SNG went through and worked with a few people to get some very good, very new skins that I'm excited to see. But I think most importantly, I'm super excited to become a brand risk tonight officially.
Yes. You welcome to the club. Welcome to the gang. We've got plenty of warm seats here. Well, no, they're not warm seats. They're cold. Lots of open seats that you're more than welcome to join in on and settle in. They're a little cold, but that just means that in the heat of everything, you have a way to quickly cool off. Where you sit down, you get a nice cool feeling, you gotta stretch out a bit, and then you gotta watch the heat pick up as the match is kick off.
Okay, I think I've finally fixed everything about stream. So we're finally a high quality production. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, very cool. So they are just gonna do randoms. So I'm gonna go ahead and set them up with randoms for really just everything that's illegal. So for those of you tuning in at home and aren't familiar with the backroom rule set, we are saying goodbye to Ninja College. We are saying goodbye to Cinema 2. We are saying see ya later to Name Redacted. Did I miss any? I think it's just those 3. Yeah, it's just those 3 nowadays.
Yeah, there's so many stages that are just legal and open, and it's absolutely delightful just looking at all these stages. I like the original Backrooms rule set.
Snake Park. I almost set them up with Snake Park.
Oh, you know I would have let Snake Park in if you left it.
That would have been so fun. Maybe for like the next ARMS Remix update, SNG can make Snake Park good. That'd be cool.
I mean, all he has to do is find a way to remove the snake board without crashing the game, and that would make it an incredible stage for competition.
Okay, cool. We are good to go. Our competitors are selecting randoms. We are just doing randos today for the first match. Very cool. Now I just have to remember which button confirms. C. C for confirm. C for start.
Indeed. And I think, yeah, that should gear everything up. I'm realizing I'm actually in a position where I might be able to kind of throw something together, so we might have a Twitch side as well. Ooh. That would be absolutely incredible, as long as my computer doesn't decide to crust everything. For context, for anybody who's curious, my computer is 16 years old, and I am currently in the midst of trying to get a fundraiser set up to raise money so that I can buy a new computer.
Yo, super chats in the chat for Maliv's new computer. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
But we got a match going on here.
We do have a match going on. Oh my gosh. So we've got Virus playing Twintel and Burke with the old reliable Springman. Springman kind of looking like that Donkey Kong from the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct yesterday. Very clean attempt at the rush, I would say. Unfortunately, getting completely blocked out by Virus. But we'll see if... Oh, no, we don't even need to see anything. Virus just goes for it and has Burke in that nice little 25% health mode. Where Springman's got those perma-charge arms still.
Indeed. And manages to get a very clean KO as well, with one final grab dealing 160 damage. A lot of things have changed, but that grab is still the same. I like how Burke actually came in pretty strong at the start, having it's just going full in on wind element arms. We fully respect that, but it looks like we've got a Blorb type or an ink-based weapon, the Ink Rain, coming in instead.
Yeah, that there, Maliv, is a Biffarang. It does exactly what you could guess it does. Whenever that's charged up, you are getting those Biff stamps all over your face.
Manages to deal a sizable amount of damage. Virus in a notable lead, but we've got Burke ready with the rush. Gets the blind, looking for some kind of follow-up, but gets baited by the Actress Aura. That is going to be some heavy chip damage on the shield, but not enough to break, and not enough to fully capitalize on. I imagine Virus is going to cleanly recover from this.
Yeah, we'll see if Virus doesn't really seem too fazed by how Burke is moving, how Burke is attacking. I'll say one thing that I think makes this matchup in particular very difficult is, you know, normally whenever you're seeing, oh, there we go. There is the end of round 2. But like I was saying, typically you don't really see those biff stamps on like arms that are considered good. So having that on like a boomerang, which is typically a pretty normal standard arm for people to use, definitely makes it a good bit harder to actually know what you're doing.
Now that Burke has seen that Virus is playing to a tail, I imagine there's a lot of opportunities to change arms up, change the pathway that they might want to go about this matchup. Because most players know these days that one of the best ways to fight back against a twin tail player is explosives. And we have a notable amount of explosives that are in this game. It's just a question of, like, if Burke is to choose to try to go for that, what explosive arms do you think they would want to utilize?
Against Virus, I would say something fast and strong. I'll say I'm not as well versed. I haven't gotten, like, the map of, new arms up, just yet.
I've got that ready if you want.
Yeah. Well, tell me more about the more explosive arms, and I'll tell you, like, what I'm feeling in my soul as, like, a soul read.
So, we have the classics of, like, the Glusher, which is a slusher now. We've got similar things, kind of like the Missile is a spotty. But in terms of, like, things that are actually explosive type, we've got the Smackamander for a Slapamander variant. We've got the Bam Bam, which is a Ram or that type of arm. And then we've also got
Say
the
less. Say less. Bam Bam.
None of them are taken.
No, not a single one, but that is a-okay as we're tuning into the new Sky Arena. Very lovely nighttime match going.
Much more pleasant without any sun glare to have to worry about or deal with in the slightest. Look at that. You can see everything clear as day, despite it being nighttime. Those flames in the background really do help with the lighting.
They do. It's gorgeous. It's easy to look at. And one thing that I didn't know that he did the first time I was trying out Remix was the song in the background. He completely changed it to be, I think it's the theme whenever you fight Max Brass in the Grand Prix, just by default. So that is super nice icing on the cake. Especially getting to see these two just throw those rushes out at each other. Virus first and then Burke reciprocating. Both pretty even matchup this go around.
Indeed. We've got the permacharge on Springman, which means that those arms are going to permanently stay charged because Springman is just below that 25% health, and he will remain like that until either the timer goes down or one of these two get knocked out. And as it currently stands, it's looking like it's Burke's favor here as long as they can safely avoid getting comboed like that. That is a perfect amount of damage to get the KO.
And it was the perfect hit too. It was so sneaky and just in there. I legitimately didn't see that coming. I didn't expect that to happen right out of shield.
That was such a clean response from Virus, who was just like, it basically treating the Virus or the Shiruden the same as you would the Thunderbird, where it's just waiting out patiently in shield, recognizing that the opponent was very anxious and eager to try to get damage. So Burke went in for the 2 punches, no longer had a way to defend, and that's when you just throw in a clean curving weapon and just catch them completely off guard.
For sure. And I think that's one thing that I really like about the curving arms in this, in like this version of the game, available on the special Nintendo Switch, is, I don't know, I feel like they're in a much better place utility-wise, much easier to use and combo into, especially with following it up with a rush like that from Virus.
They're much... The chain, again, like how we were just talking about the Toaster, excellent rush. You know what, I'll talk about in just a moment as we have both sides on critical right now. And this could be another point for Virus if they can get this confirmed, and that is going to be the match for Virus, as that is the second win. And I believe this is best of 3, or is this best of 5?
Best of 3, to my knowledge, but Prince is going to chime into chat and correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's best of 3 up until we get to, like,
yeah, it's best of 3.
Yep. So let's go ahead and get our next match queued up. Okay, so would you rather, right? Would you rather see a super fun matchup between Astro and Aya, the double A's, right? Or do you want to see the boys?
That's a tough one you're giving me.
It's a tough one.
Here.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah.
You know what?
What?
I trust that we'll see Aya on the road, but I'm a little anxious about that. Like, the way things are going, I would be surprised if we don't see Prince and SNG down the road. Let's at least make sure that Aya's got a chance on the spotlight. Let's do Astro versus Aya here.
I'm good with it. Let's go.
We shared the spotlight a little bit. We love Aya here. Aya is a artist from the ARMS community who generally plays Kid Cobra and has done a wide variety of Kid Cobra arts. Very much appreciates the character, as we all do, and she's got some very nice drawings to boot. But yeah, as I was saying before, while things are kind of gearing up here, well, we should probably talk about Astro, actually. You know what?
Yeah, how
is Astro?
You just gloss over Astro?
Yeah, he's just some guy. He's just some guy.
I think you mean the guy. He is the guy when it comes to winning tournaments. I think probably more tournament wins under his belt than I think anybody in like not just like this bracket, this tournament, but I think like in general, probably. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't really correct you on that because he's one of the longest standing active players who just consistently sign up to events and also is just dedicated so many hours. One of his key reasons why he is such a dominant force, he's got a very fantastic neutral game. That is true. But what he gives him the biggest edge is he has a mastered rush play. And that is something you from pretty much the start of the game to this current day, people have gotten really good at doing a lot of things, but I think I still genuinely believe he's the only one who has truly mastered the art of rush play. Nobody uses rush like Astro Ninja does.
Yeah, no, and for sure. And I think, like, especially with that rush, because not only can he utilize it, he's absolutely one of the best at absolutely making sure that you cannot utilize yours. Amazing how he really can just go and dominate the arena too, by not like moving himself, but really relying on your movements to put yourself into a bad position against him. It is scary to watch, and I personally am very glad I'm in the booth most times. I end up commentating him.
Indeed. I've fought him before, and he is a monolith. He is an absolute monolith to try to take on. Once you start, like, you can figure things out, and you can understand and respond to it, but you really, if you want to keep up with him, you have to have maybe not a perfect understanding of rush, but you have to have a very fundamental understanding of what makes a rush safe and what makes a rush risky and how to get reads right and when to, and even if you can't do the fanciful things he can do, at least know what equipment or approaches you can utilize that will typically guarantee your safety. Stuff like, if we're talking about classic arms, going in with a bub against him, and being like steadily applying pressure, because no matter how good of a read your opponent gets on you, if you're using a bub, that arm will retract in time for you to guard, because it's like one of the safest arms in this entire game.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think other thing that I really love about Astro, especially if he's listening right now, is how notoriously late he is whenever I ping him for his next match. Big fan. Really keeps me waiting. Keeps me on my toes even. I think that's fun. I think that's a really good quality.
Yeah, it's a great quality.
It's a great quality.
I love waiting for others. It's one of my favorite hobbies, which is why I run roleplay groups. I manage various things of my own. It's so much fun waiting on others while they're in the washroom.
There we go. We just had to be passive aggressive, and he's in. Let's go.
Yeah, as we gear things up for this next game. I've delayed it long enough. I was talking about how like how we talked about how the gloves kind of got nerfed because of all the element changes that were applied. Like there's no more fire glove and there's no more chilla, and those two literally defined competition. A lot of curve arms got really nice buffs, like Bam Bam being explosive, Bennu being explosive as well. Let's see what else. Like the whip getting an ice element. Like Crackomander, getting things like the dragon being a wind type called the Felion, which is a really nice, like the entire point of the dragon arms is to keep your opponent away. So having it literally have the type that lets it do what it's supposed to do, surprise, surprise, it makes it a lot better.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's probably one of the most fun parts of commentating like this tournament for me. And I'm sure you're going to have a blast too as the night goes on. Because a lot of those staples that we really are so common, so used to seeing, just aren't there anymore. So everybody has to kind of think on their toes a little bit and try to find like a thing that's actually going to work for them in like a meta that doesn't actually exist yet, you know? And I think that's so exciting. I think that's so cool.
Indeed, it really opens up the window for how things kind of go and how players get to respond to situations. Because we all, like, outside of a couple of arms, we all know how the interactions with the arms types function. Like, Funchuck is going to be good against Boomerang, yada, yada, yada. But the elements change this narrative so intensely. And I can already see Astro has recognized what's probably one of the more meta picks for gloves. It is based off of the Sparky, which means that it is going to move a lot more slowly. But going in with the Breezer is probably one of the... It's definitely the strongest glove that's in this game right now.
For sure, for sure. It has all the really great qualities of like a toaster or roaster, but with a really, really good wind knockback. So it's really hard to argue against using. The purple glove that Aya's got, is that a poison fella?
Indeed, indeed it is. That one is called the Toxin, and that is exclusively poison type. The toaster's actually been replaced by it. So we have something, it's got that fast boxing ability, but rather than burning people down, we get a nice poison. Unfortunately, poison doesn't really do much when Brass is all beefed up and armored. So Aya looking like she's looking to try some different elements, some different tools to respond to this situation, because Astro Ninja's coming in with Brass, and Max Brass is doing max damage right now, and it's really hard for her to respond to an exploding Ram.
Yeah, no, especially with how not mobile Kid Cobra is with that slower movement speed. On Sparring Ring, too, it is a rough matchup for Aya to be in at the moment.
He just tried to do a restand against Aya, and Aya gets the restand, immediately realizes what's going on, and has excellent response in just popping her rush. But right now, it's still really dicey. Astro managing to get the final blow before I could even explain the situation. And that is going to be game set 1 going to Astro. That was a very, very chaotic moment that happened right there. We got a restand, which are incredibly rare to do. He tried to go for the grab mix-up, and Aya managed to respond just in time, but still not enough.
What even is a restand? I've tried understanding like the mechanics behind it, but I'm dumb. I'm so dumb.
I'm pretty sure by all intents and purposes, it is a glitch. It is not supposed to happen. So how it kind of occurs is, you know how most attacks, you do your 50 punches and then you do one big punch and it locks them up in the air, or if it's like the popper, it does its chaotic thing and then the final hit launches them. A restand is a way where you bypass that final hit that sends the opponent flying into the air. So they're just sitting like a duck right on the ground. They immediately recover and they're able to respond quickly, which is a huge threat. If they recognize they've been restood, they can immediately go into shield, or they can go in for a couple of punches of their own. Or like Aya did, you can pop rush. But
speaking of like acting fast, you see that? You see that craziness? Just like Aya like dominating while we're explaining probably one of the best unintended mechanics in the game. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Indeed. I'm going in with double poison arms for this situation, and it seems to be worked out last round pretty well. We're going to go for the rush. Astro just dodging it, even with that hulking body, just cleanly steps aside. But we do get a side advantage with Io. Basically, that rush, unless Astro went for a hard punish, it was going to be a win-win situation for her.
The punch to the face to dodge to get out of that rush. That's crazy. The timing
excellent punish there. But that rush basically confirmed that Astro did not get to have his beefed up state, which Aya's loadout struggles against that buff state. So she needs to be able to stall things out as much as possible and not get grabbed and not get knocked down for him to be able to keep this tempo going. But if she can do that, at that first round is literally what happens. But we've got a very different story going on here. She goes for the rush. That's not winning this matchup.
No. We end up going to the round 3, but I'm okay with that. I think really the big thing with this matchup that caught Astro off guard in round 1 is those subtle little poison hitches. You know the ones I'm talking about. Whenever those poison,
absolutely,
right there, we're seeing them right now. It doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is actually a genuine hamper on really your opponent's mobility. And so Cobra, Aya, Balloon Boy, whatever you want to call her, having access to both of those fangs on her arm, really, really hard for a slower character like Brex to really go up against.
The other thing too is that the higher the poison stack climbs up to a maximum of 3, the more rapidly those ticks, those little flinches happen, which means that the Max Brass goes all the way from just moving around cleanly to just stuttering all over the place like a glitchy mess. And it makes it a lot harder to be able to respond to situations, just like you're saying. I am trying to utilize these double toxins right now. Yes,
the nice timing on that grab. Oh,
Astro
beautiful.
not getting the rush out either, just eats 170 damage. But now it's Aya in the corner, Brass chasing after her. What's she gonna do? She gonna try to respond, but that is just easy pickings for a rush.
I hate to see it. I hate to see it. But that's one of the tough parts about the Max matchup, really, is, once he has those permacharge arms, just like Springman, you really have to go in with a game plan in order to get something working. I think it could have been a different story if, Aya had a rush ready, but it was just too long to build it up. It just wasn't there.
Indeed. It's hard to have a game plan for Brass, especially when you're dealing with the pressure of someone like Astro Ninja, who is just applying so much pressure on top of you needing to figure out how, he's one of the characters. Springman, technically, a couple others here and there, but Max Brass is the one that's most exclusively the situation where you walk into the round and you're like, all right, how am I going to take down Brass in the final 25%? Am I going to have something that can punch through armor? Am I going to save my rush? Am I going to go for grab opportunities where I see that, he's panicking a little bit. I'm going to kind of see these little windows where they're scared and grab them. Is it Biffler Barrage, where you're just blasting them with uncharged pokes that, much like the Poison Ticks, causes their character to stutter so much that some players will just get stuck in a repetitive motion as their character is just flinching over and over and over, and you just chip through that armor like it's nobody's business.
I know my preferred method of dealing with it is sitting there and crying in the corner, which, again, is why I'm in the booth and not playing tonight.
And it is a good strategy. It works sometimes. But usually what happens, unfortunately, is that the opponent sees that and they just grab you 6 times and you die.
That's the goal. I just kind of want it over with, you know? Like, I know I didn't go in there with a plan. It's over for me. I'm just going to let them have it and get my emotions out at the same time. I don't think that's so wrong, you know?
You already got the script made. You already had a good scene happen. Now, you've got your clips. You got some cool moments. So you could just like take the L here, but you could go over and you can make a really killer video showing off how good you did up to that point.
Yeah, with the power of editing, nobody on TikTok is gonna know.
Exactly! Nobody has to know, nobody has to find out. But what they can know and what they can find out instead is that we've got another great match coming up, as we're going to be diving into SNG facing off against Prince for our other semi-final match. SNG, very well known as the player to have led this whole thing, had a nice little team that helped alongside him, but like he did all the programming. He figured out a lot of how ARMS works as a game and how he was able to kind of bend it to his will. And then Prince, one of his best buddies and also an absolutely phenomenal event organizer, has helped out in a lot of events and has been imperative in organizing this entire 8th anniversary.
Yeah, both really instrumental players of the scene right now, and I just love watching them play. Especially right now within Remix, because normally if you're a fan and you're keeping up with the events, you're probably pretty used to SNG and Prince, normally playing a lot of Springman, playing a lot of Springtron, playing a lot of Lola. So I know these two have been really working on branching out into Min and Mechanica, respectively, and it's super fun to see in Remix here.
Indeed. It's a very much a breath of fresh air. You don't see many Min-Mins these days. You definitely don't see many Mechanicas because I don't play the game much anymore. So it's very exciting to see others trying things out. And Prince also, both of them actually coming in with alternate skins for this game, which, let me say, they just look very fantastic in this lighting.
They do. And Prince looking fab with that round 1 win. We love to see it. As today's fun fact, did you know that Min skin is based off of like some early initial concept art for Min before she was Min? Crazy.
I did
right?
not.
Yeah.
That's super fascinating.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I think only SNG would end up doing out of his respect for the game. But yeah, that's where the skin comes from, is really super early art. Interesting. What's your take on Prince being in the no-no zone there? And, well, not really seeming to be bothered. I guess it's not a big deal if your opponent's not brass, right?
There's a lot that can go on in the Hot Pocket. It's a little scary. Usually you don't want to be in there because of just how dangerous it ultimately is. But it's also one of the wider spaces, and it doesn't have the bumper in the middle, which means you're kind of lower below. Not many people enjoy that height disadvantage, but you have the ability to move much more freely left and right, and you do still have a reasonable amount of room to move forward and back. There are situations and matchups where it's actually a good idea. As wild as it sounds, the Hot Pocket can be good if your opponent is not confident in pushing. And as we saw in that matchup, SNG definitely has a lot of tools to pressure well, but he didn't bring the ones he was hoping to get the best reward for. and ended up meaning that he had to respect Mechanica's armor a lot more, which meant that Prince got to pilot the Mexu a lot more confidently and played a very strong zoning game.
For sure, yeah, and it ended up working out really well, thanks to really Mechanica being one of the more mobile characters. It really surprises me that she's not played more, given how mobile and yet like covered with super armor she is. Like, it just seems like it'd be a really strong pick to me, you know?
I would definitely agree, but from what I understand from a lot of the community, going off of Marble's tier list that was recently announced, Mechanica is actually often seen as just a character that's very much outclassed by Dr. Coil. While I personally would find that debatable, I do see where a lot of people are coming from, where ultimately she does a lot of things Mechanica does. She doesn't flinch as much. She flies. The only thing she's missing is the armor. But aside from that, she has all the momentum. She has that incredible rush gain that Mechanica has. She has great speed. She just essentially has everything Mechanica has, plus a couple other tricks that just make Coil that much more enticing for anybody who's like looking between the two characters. These days, Mechanica's a less popular and lower tier character, not because she's bad, but because people just would rather pick Coil if they have to pick out of like the entire cast and they're going down to that point.
Man, that is so sad, because I know, you know, Coil is absolutely a strong character. There's no denying that. But I don't know. I feel like it's almost like Masongo, you know, where I personally really believe in Masongo. I know there's a place for him if people would give him a chance. And I think the same is for Mechanica. I think she just needs that right player to really show people how it's done. And hopefully that gets to be Prince.
Hopefully, I would be very proud and happy of Prince to be able to take up the mantle and show everybody just how great Mechanica can truly be. That said, it's one of those characters where I don't know how much you can prove her worth. Not saying you can't, but it's one of those things where no matter what you do, like, I can go back and play the game and I'd play her the exact same as always. And despite all those years and all those records that I have showing what Mechanica is capable of, seeing incredible plays like that from Prince that can only be done by Mechanica. But players will walk away still, and they still very much, you get stuck in your beliefs, and a lot of them are very focused on, yeah, but Coil can do all that too, so why Mechanica?
No, I get that. I get that. If there's anything that I've learned over the last year of being involved with the community is that ARMS players are stubborn as heck. Just like in general, very hard-headed, but I love them. I love them for it. Wouldn't be playing a game for the 8th anniversary if they weren't.
This player base, I love them so much, but it's the kind of group of people that it's like, hey, here's all these different arms you could try out to experiment, figure things out, learn how to respond to matchups in various different styles. And they're like, no, I'm going to pick 3 arms and that's all I'm going to play for the next 500 hours. And I'm just going to, if I lose a matchup, I'm going to be like, skill issue, I can respond to it better with this character. Even if they're literally getting hard countered.
But very solid win by Prince. That is him advancing further into the bracket. SNG going on down to losers, playing Mr. Table here in a bit. Looks like Aya, just to give a little bracket update, ended up winning her match against Virus, advancing to losers round 3. And SNG going against Mr. Table here in a bit. Prince advancing to fight Astro. So what do you say we... Like, Astro's cool, but, like, we haven't really seen, like, Mr. Table today. So what if we watch, like, SNG and Mr. Table?
Please. This isn't me being like, I have beef against Astro. I might, but that's just personal. It doesn't matter. But I love Mr. Table. We haven't seen him yet this bracket. He's a fantastic guy, friend of mine. another really phenomenal player that we do not get to see much of. Well, no, we get to see a lot of this guy. But yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal. We've yet to see him in this. I want to see what he's trying out, how he's playing this new version of ARMS.
Yeah,
we'll get to
me
Astro.
too, absolutely.
We'll get to Astro. He's right there. He's waiting for us. He made us wait. It's his turn to wait.
True. So true. Silly Astro. Silly Astro.
Also, if I can hog the if I could drop a link in chat, because I noticed somebody making a comment about wanting to help me get a new computer.
Oh yeah. Do your thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It won't be too long. I'm just gonna drop my Ko-Fi. There's a
drop
link
the
right there
Ko-Fi.
in chat. You can just make a flat donation if you want to support me in that way. You can see my goal with a very basic narrative on what's going on. There's also commissions. You can commission something from me, and that would also support me in working towards getting a new computer. So you even could get something out of it. I make little ARMS merch. We all love ARMS merch. Speaking of Mr. Table, he commissioned a long while ago. I made a Twintel logo for him, and it looks gorgeous.
You know,
I could make something for you.
Fun fact, Mr. Table is owner of 2 out of the 3 BWCS hats in existence. Isn't that crazy?
He collects all the merch. He collects. he's a real one.
He's a G. He's a real G. I hope he loves his hats. I hope he loves them.
I bet he has them on like some shrine or something like that.
I hope not. That bit might be a little weird, at least for me. Like I'm not at that part of like. My
okay, no,
YouTube
one of them
yet,
on the
like...
ARMS shrine. It's not like a Brett shrine. Don't worry.
True. Just like the general ARMS shrine. Yeah.
It's just an ARMS shrine. And then he has one he puts on the ARMS shrine, and the other he gets to wear out and talk about how cool ARMS is, and maybe even talk about Brett and how cool he is a little bit.
Wow. Man, you know what would have been like really cool if it wasn't for like tariffs? Remix Rumble merch. I would love to have like that key art for Remix Rumble on like a poster. I would love that.
That would be really cool. That would be absolutely phenomenal. But as a side incentive instead, while that is absolutely phenomenal and we do love it, and that's not achievable, if I'm plugging myself, I gotta plug Remix Rumble, and I gotta note specifically that you can definitely donate to me, but if you want instead, we are also raising money for the winner of not only this, but Default Derby, which is already concluded, and the Central Smackdown, which is happening tomorrow. First place for all 3 events do earn money.
And I'm just gonna drop tomorrow?
That's tomorrow. I'll drop a link in a moment. I'll drop a link to the money link for that. But while I'm doing that, what's going on here? We got SNG playing against Mr. Table.
Oh, we do. We so do. Oh my goodness. They're pretty even. It's actually kind of fun to watch them just kind of go back and forth. Really solid grab by SNG. SNG is using that arm you were talking about earlier, the slicer, with that really, really hard angle whenever it extends.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was actually using that against Prince as well.
I feel like it's really effective. Yo, I've got a theory, right? I've got a theory. SNG can confirm later if he wants, but I think I found him out because I know that this man hates Twintel, right? Hates it. He despises being in this matchup right now. So, like, with the way that the slicer ends up moving with the angle that it's at, I feel like it would make it harder for, like, Twintel's aura to stop it. Like, do you think he made that to cater, like, specifically to this matchup?
I don't think he made it specifically to fight the matchup, but he made it and then stopped and was like, hey, it also does this pretty well. Let me use it for this purpose too. This is just a convenient happening.
Look at that aura into the slice, into the rush, into the grab. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that was so good. Like, you can't tell me he didn't design this on purpose as like an anti-twin tail measure. You cannot tell me that he didn't do that.
It's definitely, even if it's not intentional, it is very conveniently lined up to work as such, especially since once you get that hit, it is the one he's utilizing, the slicer, is a stun arm as well. So you get that hit, and then you get that extended hit stun, so you can follow up and go for a grab.
Yo, Maliv, homie, can you keep a brother accountable for the rest of the night, please?
What?
I just realized I never swapped out like the name, so like on the stream so that was like SNG and Prince. You know, simple mistakes that we've all done. We've all been there, done that.
Dude, I've got like 6 different tabs open I'm trying to keep track of so I can see the game in real time, and now I gotta keep an eye on that, so I gotta get your video
I don't need
play.
you to keep an eye on it. I don't need you to keep an eye on it. I just need you to remind me as we're getting into the lobby to actually change it.
See, the trick is I have to keep an eye on it to remember, so...
Yeah, that'll do it.
You fix these things up, I will start talking about some smacking in some arms as we've got the Bam Bam stepping on the field, and we've also got an ice type Tri-Bolt, the Tri-Frost coming in on Mr. Table's side, which those are 2 really nice arms. The ice immediately nullifies Min Min's Dragon Arm, and then the explosion just works like the fire type in that it's just a huge blast of damage. Ooh, a slicer from downtown, managing to catch Table off guard with just the speed and accuracy. It is definitely really hard to see exactly where that thing's coming in from and how it's flowing, but when you know how it's moving, you become way scarier, and that's definitely what SNG's been trying to play with.
Oh, for sure. And it's so obnoxious that it has just like that little bit of stun too. Like it is so hard to counter.
Indeed. In current situation, SNG's in a really good place to be able to take this first round of the second set. All he needs is one more hit to take Table out, and he manages to successfully secure it. I like the combo with the Toxin as well, because that poison element will get taken away from most other status ailments that you can inflict, except for stun. So you can actually synergize the 2 to work together pretty effectively, where you can stack the poison and still have the stun happen on top of that. It's not easy to do, but if you get everything working phenomenally, then yeah, you get to do that.
Yeah, you know, I never actually really thought about that before, because that is really, yeah, using that to set up the poison. That is so smart. That is such a sneaky thing to do.
Indeed, it is.
I love how SNG just goes for the straight bap into grab, which I think really he can only get away with because of those little poison jitters. But very, very solid first or second round win for SNG, and that is, wow, that's the match. That's it.
That is SNG advancing deeper into the bracket, and unfortunately for Mr. Table, a fantastic showing there, but he is knocked out of the tournament. He's knocked off the table. Just sweep him off the table and out of the running for our prize pool, which I did actually take a moment to look. How much money are we making here? If we are just to open up this match arena, which
we're at a bit over $100 for each event, I think.
$103 specifically, which that can still climb if anybody wants to donate. Even a few dollars will make a difference, and I imagine it'll make players very, very happy to see those few extra coins kind of come in, and that'll just go straight to their pockets. That's something that they'll be able to walk away with, spend it on whatever they want, be it pizza, tacos,
A second copy
crippling,
of arms.
second copy of arms, crippling debt. You know, all the options.
I think it's so cool though, because you know, really all of the players in our community are definitely not used to having really so much money on the line. So it is really cool that you know, people have chipped in to contribute and really make this 8th anniversary something special for everyone. Really, I think that's super cool.
Indeed, indeed, and I'm very happy to see Aya's made it far enough that she is going to have a match against SNG as one of our final bouts before we are locked in the finals. After this would be Prince versus Astro in winter finals. And then I believe, yeah, no, this is lower semifinals. So after this, yeah, we do Prince and Astro. And then whoever loses that faces the winner of this match. And then we'll be heading into grands from there.
Yeah, pretty straightforward blitz for the rest of the night. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm really interested in whether or not, like, either way, like this. Oh, okay. SNG sticking with the Min. I think he really just likes the skin a lot. Is the main reason he switched to Min for Remix primarily. I'm pretty sure it's just for the skin.
See, that's my favorite thing about cosmetics that nobody ever talks about. You can be a diehard main of one type of character, but as soon as a killer skin comes out that just speaks to you, you're like, all right, everything's out of the window. I've made this character now because I feel so cool.
Listen, I am typically a mango man, you know what I'm saying? But Remix, whenever I play, I get a little saucy. I play Ribbon Girl, because she got a Hatsune Miku-inspired skin. Ooh.
It just makes you feel fabulous. What can I say?
It does. It doesn't matter what I pop on. You know, if I'm playing ARMS Remix, Hatsune Miku. If I'm playing Fortnite, Hatsune Miku. If I'm playing Sonic Racing Crossworlds, Hatsune Miku now.
Exactly. SNG on the back heel right now at 25% health, has Rush ready. A good confirm can take away the majority of Aya's life, but we are not in kill range yet, where Aya only needs a little bit of damage and a grab. This will be a great setup. It's not going to be enough, but Aya is 1 to 2 hits away from being knocked out now. She might need to press her rush. 10 seconds left on the clock. SNG still in the health lead right now. She just has to get a single hit, and he needs to stop pressing. He locks out, though, as Aya cannot handle this pressure. And he is going to be able to claim that point. That was a very risky play he chose to make there.
It was, and the last few seconds of that match could have gone very, very differently if he didn't anticipate that rush from Aya. If he had not blocked that, that would have been it. That would have been game over.
Indeed. And then, while it was incredibly risky, he did get the reward of just, it forced Aya into a position where she couldn't confidently find a chance to kind of go in for a counter poke, which usually doesn't happen, but it worked out really well in this situation.
Very solid capitalization of that grab by SNG. Aya really avoiding it with that rush. Doing big damage.
Keeping this pressure going. We've got Poison. Aya has been quickly brought down to critical despite not getting taken by a single rush here. SNG just getting good read and catch after good read and catch, and has just managed to bring things back. But Aya's looking for a couple, like a single hit more to be able to take him down. And that's going to be a big biffled stamp on his face as he falls to the ground.
Oh, I love it. I need Aya to keep winning for a little bit. It's nothing against SNG at all, because as I'm sure everybody knows, we are completely unbiased commentators, right? But I'll say I want to see more of the Twitch Prime Cobra skin in action tonight. You know, any primers in chat? Oh,
don't forget to subscribe. If you're enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe on YouTube or Twitch.
No, just YouTube. We're only streaming to YouTube where subs are free. Let's go. There should be no primers in chat. But
you could just like support the stream though. There's like a little bit of financial incentive.
Oh, true.
I believe. Do you have emote set on this channel?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think so, but who cares? Who cares? I don't put out content enough to care right now. But anyway, let's talk about
support and find out.
Yeah, yeah. Man, they are just like throwing punches back and forth.
Clean boxing going on. SNG found his way in with 2 slicers. Tried to go in for the KO. Out comes the rush. It's a barrage, and Aya comes out on top.
That jump was so clean. And that's why they call her Balloon Boy. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Just floating right over that attack. There's so many cases where a jump like that would not be enough, but because she popped her rush just in time to it, out comes the spray man in response. She was able just to kind of like, the Biffler came out so quickly that that short hop was just the right amount of range to be able to get that thing, to be able to get that damage, really secured that point and situation. And now we've got one more game. We are at a toxic green ribbon ring.
We are, which I think is really interesting because I'm just now realizing it's, I think like the only stage for Remix that isn't just like a changed like skybox, but they're actual like stage color changes, which I think is really, really neat.
Something fun I'm realizing right now is there's actually, I don't know if this was intentional, but that glove, the breezer, camouflages with this stage.
Oh my gosh, the slicer too a little bit.
And also,
can you please keep painting him purple so I can see what he's doing with those arms? Thank you.
Please and thank you. But also, look at the stage elements. The other color we're seeing a lot is purple on those blocks. And purple and green are just complementary colors. This is just fate. This is just fate right here. This is such a beautiful little fight going on with just beautiful colors. I am
so sorry to our colorblind viewers who can't see any of this match. Oh,
true.
Oh, that is so rough.
Both players a single hit away, and the breezer blows Aya down. I mean, that's kind of our job, though. So they can't see nothing, but we can still explain what's going to go on. So maybe let's focus on some of this match here, as we've got a new arm swapped in on Springman's right side for SNG. We've got the Crack-A-Mander, which is an ice element slap-a-mander. You can get those ice chains while slapping your foe down. Not looking too hot, though, right now, as SNG taken 36 damage from poison stacks, and Aya has yet to be touched. Aya just cleanly dodging out of the way of a lot of these attacks and just chipping away with the Biffster.
Yeah, no, it's really surprising to me how easy it seems like Aya has it this match. After the performance SNG put on in that first round, it seems like that switch to the Crack-A-Mander's not doing him any favors.
Ooh, we do get an ice to wind combo. It's one of the best things about like any kind of the wind arm is just comboing off of any of the other stun-based weapons, but it's not really that much. Aya's still just below 74% health, and she's gonna be able to
on those little guys.
Twist that Biffster right into SNG.
Biffster twitch. Oh, I love it. I love it. Did you know that SNG named the Crack-A-Mander after me?
Did he?
He did, yeah.
I don't see it. What's the reference here?
I'm white. Anyway, fantastic match that we're seeing so far. Them really just going back and forth, throwing punches to build up the rush gauge. Both of them being kind of cautious.
Out comes Aya's rush and while not getting the full amount of damage, still getting a poison stack in, dealing a hefty amount on SNG. Now the name of the game is to keep him away, prevent him from getting a really big push so that he can get some kind of rush confirm. Because as long as he's far away, he can't really confidently get a win confirm off of his Breezer glove. But she is dealing with so much damage as she is desperately trying to weave away from him and has knocked herself into critical, which means that at this point, any damage will be enough to take her out. She has to be super careful, manages to get her rush out ready just in time, and now it's anybody's game. SNG is terrified, pops this rush, Aya swiftly stepping out of the way, dodging as she leaps through the sky. Out comes her rush in response, and it connects!
I have not seen such good movement like that in such a long time.
That was phenomenal from Aya Darling. Cleanly weaving around each and every hit, baiting out SNG's rush because you could see he was worried about that outcome. And she just quickly is like, hey, don't forget, I'm Kid Cobra. I hop around like a kangaroo. Bounces right around the rush and then just dives in and finishes off the match. What a delightful semi-final game that was.
Oh wait, is this best out of? We're in semifinals, so is this best out of 5?
No, it's best out of 3. They're both leaving.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're both leaving. Okay. That or because I've started queuing us up, they gentlemaned to doing best out of 5 or best out of 3.
They marked the score, so whether or not that's the score and that's gone. We should really be paying attention to the rules.
we probably should be, but I mean, I'm gonna level with you, right? Like if it's is it really an ARMS tournament in 2025 if I'm not messing something up for somebody?
If things are at least a little bit scuffed.
Yeah, by my hand specifically.
That's a pretty important part. You're definitely right. So, we're going to be changing the players' names in the bracket as we get things set up and head into Crits versus Astro Ninja for winners finals. This will be the bout to see who gets to settle in peacefully and contently in Grands, and who will be moving over to have to face off against
Aya.
This is
winner's semi.
Well, technically, it's winners finals.
No, it's winner's semi. After this, we end up going to losers round 4.
Finals.
Yeah, whatever that is. And then finals. Whoever wins that is going to fight that in the finals. Well, no, why is it labeled like this? You're right. Yeah, what? Huh?
That's just Challenge being Challenge.
Oh my goodness gracious. I can't.
We enjoy a good little silly. Challenge is trying to mess with you. It's playing mind games on you.
It's not even the first time it's done that. Like last fall when I was actually committed to doing BWCS myself. I messed up bracket in Challenge so hard. We ended up doing one of the day 2 matches on day 1 towards the end of it. Oopsies. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Challenge. At least how they show the bracket. Other than that, it's great. Other than that, I love it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's got a couple. It's easy to look at it as a very simple thing, but it does, because of its simplicity, it does have a few holes that can be kind of difficult to work around and can cause a little bit of confusion. But yeah, no, it's also like a lot of other ones. It's a very clean platform to work with.
All right, we've got the boys in here having a nice little discussion of the last time Prince actually faced Astro in bracket. Maybe like years ago. We don't know. But as a surprise, they're not doing randoms like everybody else. They actually banning stuff out here. That's crazy.
Oh shit! That's how you know that the gloves are coming off. It's time to take things metal and be like, we're actually gonna pick stages because now there's enough power level going. I mean, there's a lot of power level going on elsewhere, but the players are ultimately having fun. But now we're at the point where Prince is like, no, I want to win. I'm gonna beat you.
Prince not banning Buster, given Astro is primarily a maxing coil player. Interesting choice. Interesting.
I wonder if that has to do with the fact that the arms types are different, and he's going in thinking that the main things that make Brass terrifying on there, aside from Brass being Brass, is the arms that Brass brings. And we have different weapons.
That is very true. I didn't look at it from that angle, but we'll see, because we are actually going to Buster. There's no way Astro is going to willingly take it to a fun stage like Ribbon Ring. No way that happens.
It's also possible that Prince just really feels like Buster Beach right now, which power to him.
Yo, so chat, while we're waiting on like Astro to like ready up, what do you guys think should be in the future of Remix? What are you guys thinking? Just while we're getting into this match, let me know in the chat, you know. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
I want Trans Pride colors. I want Mechanic Kirby from Robobot.
Hey,
I want Dr.
the
Coil
faded,
to be glued
the
to
faded
the ground.
matchup. The faded matchup. Coil and her lesser. Let's go. We finally get to see if Mechanica can bring it back. I'm excited.
I'm very excited too. We'll see if all that tier talk is really is all for what it is, or if it's all trash. As Astro coming in, showcasing that phenomenal rush gameplay that he just knows and loves, completely pelting Prince down, and Prince gets Astro to like 76% health before his full meter is completely wiped clean. Coming in with a revolver as a revolver-based arm as one of his choices definitely did not work out as well as he hoped, and instead has swapped over to our explosive bird alongside the toxin. Players have absolutely settled in with that being one of the top arms. Astro coming in, we've got that fiery tri-bolt alongside the toxin, so he still has a fire knockdown and is utilizing it very effectively. Just having a widespread fire is absolutely a threat.
Why do you think that Nintendo would put that in the game? That seems kind of busted to me, in my opinion. Why would Nintendo do that?
It seems a little powerful, yeah. But, you know, we gotta... Just like how they implemented the toaster and the roaster, we're kind of just gonna have to deal with it and see how things play out. As, ooh, two good catches from Prince. Tries to go for one final read, but Astro just chooses to wait things out with the shield. And currently still standing quite strong as we're moving into the 35-second mark. Both are a hit or two away. Out comes the rush. Prince could not get a response out in time, and that is going to be Astro getting the win here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a much better performance out of Prince here in this upcoming second round. Because one thing that we haven't gotten to talk about too much about Prince tonight is he's a very adaptive player, right? Like, he will go and play that first round, and by the time it's over, he has downloaded you and knows how to adjust accordingly. So I'm really interested in seeing how he ends up adapting to Astro, because it's a hard matchup. It's a hard matchup for anybody, if I'm keeping it real.
It's a tough matchup indeed, but he also has a plethora of tools available for him that are all going to respond very differently to the situation and work some maybe even more to his advantage than standard options would allow. He's just, there's so many things that he can pick. I'm curious to see what he kind of goes for. Going in with the, I believe it was the Reguster, is a very interesting choice to have gone for. Just because the multi-shots are so difficult to aim normally, and then you're trying to hit Dr. Coil, it only, like, the only time I really see it being useful is if you're just specifically trying to counter a popper.
Yeah. But we'll see, because this next match should be pretty interesting to see. Oh, Prince going with a Springtron. Okay, that's what I like to see. But taking us to like I said earlier, a fun stage, taking us to Ribbon Ring. I don't know. I feel like this is possibly a bit of a rougher arena to fight a Coil on. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I definitely agree, just because she's going to have a much easier time moving around those blocks than any of the other characters. But I like these two arm choices. I'm really eager to see how this plays out. The Poison, as we've discussed already, has a lot of interesting applications and can make Coil a little bit easier to catch with her getting Poison ticks as long as you're getting them going. And this bird has actually been doing a pretty decent job, starting with 2 hits with the Zenio, just managing to build up a bit of poison, but Astro has cleared it off, landed his own rush, and now he is in the driver's seat as he is pelting. He's pelting his baby down with damaging hit after hit.
Now, the thing with it... Oh, yeah.
That was a dandy grab. Prince being like, please, not again. Pops his rush for dear life, but that just means that Astro is just in a situation where he could go for another hit. Has rush advantage. Oh. You were saying.
Oh, yeah, no, well, it's not really important now. I was just getting really excited because, like, every bit of damage that Astro does, just gets Prince, closer to, that permanently charged mode, that Springtron has, just like, Springman and Max Brass. But that's over now, and, Astro has to get him there again, which, he is really working on doing pretty quick.
I don't think Springtron gets a permanent mode.
He gets something. He gets something at 25, doesn't he? No, you're right.
He gets really sad because he has nothing going for him like the others.
You're right. This commentator's bad and dumb and doesn't know the game. I think that's something that Remix should fix up. We should give Springtron something at 25.
Give him a pizza.
Give him a pizza?
That's really what he's got going for him right now as Astro advances to 2-0 against Prince. Definitely an interesting pick, and there I can see the merit, the logic behind Springtron. It can work. But dear gods, is it a difficult matchup if you can't get your momentum going with Springtron.
Oh, by the way, just so like we're both on the same page, BT Dubs, we are now in the best of 5 zone.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Also, very interesting move by Astro. Announcing he's switching to Max Brass ahead of time. That's crazy. What a gentleman and a scholar.
I believe in typical competition rules that if you're the advantage player, if you are changing your picks of character and arms, you do have to announce them after the stage is chosen.
Oh, well, he did it before the stage was chosen. What a gentleman. Yeah, what a gentleman.
That is gentlemanly, yes.
Yeah. That's very nice. That's very polite. And that's why he's the champ, I guess. I was going to say the people's champ, but that's really kind of more of SNG tonight. Without him, we wouldn't be here, you know? There'd just be any other old arms of it, and who cares about that? Dead game, am I right?
Banned you from your own stream.
Oh man, I wish. Anyway, wow. Astro really capitalizing on that knockback in the rush to get that little extra damage off of like a grab knockback. I love to see that.
Astro just bravely despite being frozen, is like, I know what you're going for, and I'm just gonna deny you because I just have the faster, weightier arms. I can just win these trades. It doesn't matter yet you freeze me, I can just win the trades.
And this is such a rough map for Springtron 2, or at least against Astro, because really Springtron's biggest strength is that EMP charge, right? Whenever he holds that for long enough, it knocks down the opponent's arms if they're going. But Astro's not going to let him get that off. Like, Prince is not going to be able to bait that out. He's been trying, but no, Astro knows. Astro knows what he's up to.
He knows how to counter all these setups. He knows how to play around them. And yeah, like, there's a lot that Prince can do, but this is turning it very much into a situation where Prince is having a hard time getting value off of his deflects. He's doing better now, the previous round, and a bit of this round, but he's having a hard time getting value off of his deflects, which means that it's just a weight game where Prince is facing off against a Breezy and a Slicer, and both just power through his two medium and light arms that are both just kind of, they lose the boxing matchup.
Ooh, very great shield by Prince. Oh my gosh, there it is. Fantastic rush counter out of shield.
I think that's a rare Astro misplay with his rush. I feel like he was maybe expecting the Slicer to do a lot more damage on the shield. I'm pretty sure he saw that as a shield break opportunity and was going to close it out. And he'd tap like once, twice. And he's like, wait a second. And then Prince just kind of comes in with the punish.
Ooh, very solid grab by Prince. Very good. I thought for sure he was going to get knocked out of the air there, but happy to see that I'm wrong.
Prince managing to use the shield wisely, taking one hit, moving out of the way, capitalizing on the fact that the Breezy is one of the slower arms, like one of the slowest gloves in the game too. Ooh, and not good at catching these rushes either. Prince with an excellent catch of that opportunity. Just, it's a much, like the Breezy, it seems like a really good arm, but because it plays with the same stats as the Sparky, there's a reason why Prince is not going double Breezy, and he's going in with something else like the Trifrost to be able to kind of keep that pace going. Because if he blocks one Breezy, all he has to do then is punch the other Breezy down, and then he's safe to catch with the Trifrost. And he's able to kind of get these big punishes and plays going on here, where that first round, he was just getting outboxed. But then he started to shift his momentum around, and he started to respond to it a lot more, recognizing, I'm not winning the boxing game. I need to stop one of these arms, or I need to stop the Slicer, and then get the punish. Astro put away the Slicer and went double Breezy, and then it became an even easier game from there.
For sure. We'll see if he ends, it was Astro's idea to just go ahead and run this back. No, he is not running it back exactly the same. He's got that golden headlock on it. Ooh. I think
golden headlock is a very interesting choice. It still has that explosive missile, but the head shocks.
Oh, is that the difference to it?
Or maybe the explosion also shocks, but yeah, it has an electric element added on top. So it's a lot more dangerous, a lot more capable of being very explosive in what it's capable of doing. Where it now actually can fight back against heavies too, which makes it exceptionally terrifying to play against.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I didn't realize. Hey, SNG, can we get you in the chat here real quick to get some clarification on what is new exactly
Prince
about this
trying to come in
headlock?
for the finishing blow. Astro managing to clutch things out still. Gets one good catch with a punch.
I think I see Astro's vision with that golden headlock, though, because it really, it kind of gets rid of, like, an entire vector of Prince's movement. Like, he just cannot go left safely, you know?
Mm-hmm. It makes it significantly more difficult. But it was maybe a little too close for Astro's comfort, and he is going to swap over and go for a duplicate of Prince, being like, I can do what you do just fine. And Prince managed to be like, yeah, bet, come at me, scrub, I'm ripped. As he gets another wind combo, setting Astro at critical. A single hit is all it's gonna take to even out the score. Prince is not out of this yet.
This is pure cinema. Pure cinema.
Final round coming in. The golden lockjaw steps back into the field. Prince with a dandy grab confirmed, catching Astro off guard. He is not able to catch his footing here. Goes for the double punch, gets comboed with a grab. Prince has yet to be touched, is almost ready with his rush, keeping this tempo, keeping his focus, reading out each and every Astro move that is played out. Astro now at 15%, and the lead will not shut up. Here, he's about ready to set up a rush, trying to call a situation out, sees that moment. Astro manages to secure some damage, but is taken out by a final grab. Prince ties up the score 2 apiece.
Wow. Wow. And this
phenomenal
goes back to what I was talking about earlier with Prince being a really, really adaptive player. Especially since, you know, he only got to play one prior match against Astro's Max Brass, right? Compared to how much he played against his Coil. So very... I mean, I'm not going to question it. I love it. I love a good comeback story. I would love to see Astro climb out of losers. I would love that. Again, I am unbiased. I just think it'd be interesting for the story. But, man...
absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, so we are going
that was like
scrapyard.
Very, very solid from Prince's situation. Like, kind of explaining, Prince recognized that it was getting really difficult to get to flex. So how that kind of played out is he just recognized Breezy kind of sucks. Like, it's good, but it's the Sparky. Just dodge it, your opponent can't do nothing. Or just block it, and they can't do nothing. So all he had to really worry about was the golden or the Lockjaw EX, and made it significantly easier for him to handle the matchup. Now Astro is switching over to Dr. Coil. Again, I'm curious to see how this is actually going to play out, because Astro has to play with very different arms. What is considered meta is a very different story right now. We actually have, outside of the Chilla, we have a different very good Ice Chain weapon in the Trifrost that Prince is wielding, which kind of to a degree works better against Dr. Coil, as long as it's not getting boxed out.
To a degree, I think the one thing really lacking from Prince's loadout right now that really, I think could be a big reason why he's struggling against this Coil so much is something that just has like more wide reach, like a wider reaching arm, almost kind of like that Tri-Bolt type, but something that just hits a little better. You know what I'm saying? Because those Tri-Bolt bolts, they're very small, they're very skinny. So even though it's really far, it's kind of hard to connect with someone as floaty as Coil is.
Indeed it is. And there's a couple of options out there that could be good, but I mean, they just don't hit as well as Popper. We've got a blind option. I think we only have... oh, no, there's also there's a stun option, but we all know the story about stun and Coil.
We do? I can't say I do.
You don't try to stun her because she has the fastest recovery on flinches in the game. So
right,
even
of course. I knew that.
On top of that, if she's high up and you stun her, she goes down and you miss her and she gets a free punish because you whiff.
Oh, that's so cringe. Why would Nintendo do that? That's so cringe.
Oh, geez, that's a good question. I wish I had an answer.
Maybe Nintendo can fix it in like this new remix patch later, in like the 6.0 patch.
Ooh, nice catch there from Prince.
Oh, but being met immediately with that rush to bring Prince back down to just below Astro's level. Ooh. Does he get the rush? No, he does not. Very good shield by Astro. Love it.
The nice thing about Breezy, and I think it's one of the things he's trying to go for, but it's really hard to do when you're playing against a player like Astro, is if you hit your opponent with Breezy, or a wind-based arm, you have two options to sprint on. You can either keep that pressure and that momentum going, or you can wait back a little bit, and you can utilize the time earned to get an EMP off, to get that overcharge and get that powered up state. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get that or secure anything as 4 seconds left on the clock. Astro starts getting the read on him once again, and he's not able to figure out the situation well enough. And that is going to be Astro walking away 3-2 against Prince in what was a very, very close matchup.
Hey, on the bright side, Prince gets to stay in the lobby, and you know who we get to watch next?
Oh, we get to see Aya, darling.
We get to see Aya again. Any primers in chat for Balloon Boy?
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube.
Be sure to drop that Twitch Prime on YouTube, boys. Let's go.
Drop $5 over, or tip me a Ko-fi, or, you know, support this ARMS tournament and drop some money on the Matcherino, or download ARMS Remix. There's a bunch of links in chat. Go check them out. Great stuff. Very great.
What a goofy little guy Prince is. He's up next and he leaves the lobby. What a goofy
I think he
little
forgot.
guy. He did. It's okay. It's something I would do too. And we're just doing a little adjusting of the name. We're in losers finals. Yes.
Yes. So this is the point where it's like we have top 3. These are the best 3 players of ARMS Remix. We've got Aya Darling, we got Prince, and we got Astro Ninja. These 2 will be duking it out to see who gets a chance at taking Astro down in the grand finals. We've seen what Prince is capable of. He absolutely has a shot, as long as Astro doesn't pick Dr. Coil. But it's still also Prince. It's entirely possible that he has a trick or 2 up his sleeve still, and he's able to learn the matchup well enough that he is able to respond. And I do believe that there are a couple arms available that might give him an edge. I know people don't like.
Say so.
I know people don't like the Manders, except for me and SNG, because we both understand, and you, how goated the arm is. We've got multiple great choices. I wonder how well the Slicer handles Dr. Coil.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, I think a Slicer would be really solid. It has, you know, like that option to go pretty straightforward pretty quickly, or like that more angled option we were talking about, having something wider for Prince. I think that would definitely do a number on Coil for sure.
The other 2, I will never shut up about Manders because they're definitely my favorite arm in the game. I will change every other arm in my loadout, but pretty consistently, every loadout I have either has the Slap-a-mander or the Slam-a-mander, or in the remix, probably the Crack-a-mander or the Smack-a-mander. Those both are good elements against Dr. Coil. You got an Ice Mander or an Explosive Mander. Both can mess with Coil good.
Oh, for sure. I think it's one of those things where, yeah, you know, once people start playing more of ARMS Remix, I think it's going to be a lot easier to find Coil counters. But enough about that. Let's focus on Twitch Prime subs and Kid Cobra.
And starting things off, Aya coming in with the Breezer and the Bifferrain, while Prince is coming in kind of sticking with, like, we're definitely seeing, like, the Breezer for people who want the knockdown glove, And then if they just want a strong glove, it's the Toxin because they just want that toaster. They just want toaster so bad that it's like, I don't think it's actually, like, there's probably better gloves in this loadout that are safer and more effective, but people are so used to toaster that they just can't let go of the Toxin.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't know, because I think the Toxin just has, I'll say it, I think it has more utility, you know? Because not only do you get that stagger, you also get that poison chip damage that grows if you're able to land it, you know, more than once. So, I mean, you can be, I would argue, more successful with the Toxin than a toaster, you know?
That's fair. I can see where you're coming from on that. And looking on the other side, Prince is coming in with the bubbler. Big ink stain, big bubble stains on the opponent's face whenever a charged hit connects. I just like the colors on it. And then we're still coming in, definitely seeing a lot more of the bird now that there's an explosive variant. Like, that just immediately elevates that weapon into a much higher tier in a lot of players' eyes, it seems like.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're definitely seeing a lot more of it. I think especially as like an explosive arm. It kind of takes away like the one downside for explosive arms, just because it's harder to knock out. It's easier to be more successful with it. I forget, in round 1, was Prince using the explodey burp?
No, he had I believe he had a different arm. I've already forgotten which one it is, but it's the other one that's in his loadout.
Oh yeah, the other arm.
Yeah. The interesting thing about the Bennu that I'm noticing, and I don't know, it could be just visuals or something like that going on, but I don't think it explodes on block.
You know, yeah, because I think, and we'll have SNG confirm this, very clean win by Aya. But I think it handles the explosion.
That's Prince.
That is Prince. Oh my gosh, I should know that. I should know that.
Look, just because it's a girl on the screen does not mean the player is a girl.
Okay, listen, I am only sexist on Fridays, okay? Wait.
It's Friday! Shit! Everyone scram!
Oh man, pour one out for a homie. But anyway, like I was saying, I think the Bennu ends up maybe handling explosions differently. Prince is saying that it explodes on block as well in the chat.
Okay.
But I don't know, it just kind of seems like it handles the way it explodes differently if you really watch it.
Yeah, like, I do really, really like it. It looks like a really fun arm to kind of work with. So, yeah, and like you said, it's a lot harder to knock down. Birds are pretty difficult to dodge. It's just the fact, like, the biggest weakness of the various bird arms that we had before is the ultimate answer to all of them was, oh, I see you threw it out. I block. Oh, your bird hit my shield. Time to punish you because it's going to take an hour for it to come back. But if there's an explosion, all of a sudden it's a much safer arm.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially since, like, part of the danger of the explosion is normally it's going, like, directly from you, right? So it's really easy to hit down and then blow back into your face. And that just, it doesn't really happen with how the bird works, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like, it happens sometimes, like we immediately saw right there. Prince just threw the bird forward, it got punched down, and it blew up under his toes. But, like, every other time we're seeing it come left, right, top, left, angle. Like, there's so many different ways that the bird can come through, and it makes it a lot more interesting of an arm because of that. And just giving it the option to blow up just adds that much more life to it. That's a weird thing to say. I don't think there's many cases where you say the ability to blow up gives it so much more life. Please don't quote me on that.
It's okay. We're all gonna forget about it because I'm here in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna have another certified Brett moment this stream. So you're good. You're good, homie.
We'll both have a few good moments here and there in this event. It's fair. We gotta share. We gotta share the embarrassment.
Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Now, I just wish. Oh, there Prince goes sharing that rut. Ooh, getting a little bit of sharing in.
Nice hit with the Biffler. You saw he hesitate to be like, what's gonna happen, and then kind of decided to go for a quick jump, which meant that his shield was no longer available.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see how that KO happened? It just grazed the bird, causing an explosion.
That was a very unfortunate series of events for Prince, where he had a really good moment, but as soon as he hesitated, it just turned into a Mario Kart Blue Shell moment where it's hit by one thing, hit by another thing, hit by the next thing, and you're dead.
Absolutely fantastic act of sharing by Aya, though. I love to see our competitors sharing their rushes.
Yeah. Sharing is caring, like you said. The other nice thing about
there we go. There's some sharing. Prince gives his rush. Aya gives right back. Prince receives it with open arms.
Both trying to find a way around these shields, and a lot of these pokes coming through. Not finding too many opportunities here. Another thing I like about it is just the fact that, like, the birds never did too much. It never felt like they did the damage they deserve. Like, Phoenix did 120, and then Thunderbird does 90. So having that explosion brings it up to 140, and that makes it feel so much more impactful all of a sudden. Out comes one more rush. Is this going to be enough? Prince manages to tie up this set. Both will now be vying for that final point on this round. Io starting with a notable rush advantage, having her full meter, while Prince is empty and looking for room.
I am really hoping that Prince would have dropped his shield a little early there. He could feel it was going to happen, though. That rush was going to pop. There was no way it wasn't.
The more I'm seeing this Breezy, the more I'm realizing that, like, it's still dangerous. It's absolutely better than Sparky. But it is definitely, like... It's a situation where people are excited by the prospect of a win-confirmed glove. I don't think it has the impact you really need. I feel like...
No, I don't think it does either. Especially, like, I'm comparing it to its Sparky counterpart. And, yeah, like you said, like the idea of just having, like, a straight jabbing kind of wind arm is really appealing. But I just don't know that it has the same utility that a Sparky would. You know, causing that paralysis to where you could follow it up with literally anything else instead of just like sitting and flying.
I will still get the point though.
Makes it works. Yeah, Aya makes it work. She gets the point.
I mean, even the slower Sparky or Breezy type arm still outboxes a Bubbler and a Bennu. Still gonna outbox them. Because those arms are not designed for boxing, so all you gotta do is just outbox and be girthy Kid Cobra.
Alright. So we're banning stages. Aya banning sparring, ramen, and spring. I don't know. If you were Aya, right? Where do you think you're taking Prince, given the matchup?
If I was Aya, honestly, stages like Scrapyard, stages like Ribbon Ring, places that you kind of get to continue to utilize. I was thinking of Buster Beach, actually. Where
Prince decided Buster Beach, yeah.
Prince is it's interesting that he chose it, because it feels like it's a good... If you get the pressure on Kid Cobra and you get him stuck in a hot pocket, yeah, he can struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I feel it's a much better Cobra stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really going to need to watch himself and stay out of the hot pocket.
Because Kid Cobra is unless you have something like a Ram, Kid Cobra has a very easy time getting out of the hot pocket. Even a big, beefy, like, Mega Blast, is not going to be enough to kind of lock him down. Oftentimes, that just means that Kid Cobra can see you coming from a mile away and be like, I'm just going to block, and now I punish you.
Yeah, and see, we've gotten to see Aya successfully reverse it and get Prince into the pocket for a little bit, but Prince able to just manage his way out with that mega win there.
Got the rush ready, but a 1-2 with those two slow arms, just unable to respond to the breezy, casually gliding over, just like a leisurely stroll straight into Mechanica and blowing her away. It's kind of funny how slow they move, but they've got all this window around them, like they're just causing a lot of drag.
Very solid predictive shielding by Prince. Again, just feeling when Aya is probably going to pop that rush. Aya getting that grab to just nullify the rest of Prince's rush, so that way neither one really gets a gain. Aya's got to really play it cautious with how Prince is playing right now, blocking off her movement with that Mega Wind and the bird on the other side. It is just, oh, Mega Blast. Mega Blast. That sounds way cooler than Mega Wind.
It does. And also, I definitely see how Prince is utilizing it. If Aya is playing smart, that Mega Blast should be a lot less impactful in the matchup. But Prince is playing very patiently with it, waiting to see what she does, and then in a lot of situations is trying to utilize it as a response. Because of the fact that, like, if he's leading with it, there's going to be a lot more situations where she's just going to get out of harm's way, and it's going to do nothing. So he kind of is holding onto it as a response, and it's rolling out a lot of attacks because of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's almost not to bring in somebody else to the match, but it's almost kind of reminiscent of how Astro ends up playing a good bit of the time, right? Maybe Prince taking a little something with that last match there, because he is. I don't know. It's always kind of surprising to me whenever somebody makes one of the Mega Arms works, just because it's so slow. You don't often see it too often.
It's very difficult to utilize well. You have to have a very strong understanding of how to line up your shot and how to be able to kind of read out what's going on, because a lot of the way how you actually get it to work is often very reactionary. And that was a great moment where the bird just kind of, for any other character, that bird would not have hit its mark. But because this is Mechanica, and Mechanica has that little bit of extra armor while acting, just kind of eats the Trifrost, and the bird just continues on its path and bites Aya down, and that's going to allow Prince to claim that set.
What's your opinion of this matchup on Ribbon Ring?
Again, this feels like another stage that I'd give to Kid Cobra.
Good, because it was Aya that picked it. Oh, man, it's going to be a fun one.
I feel like that last one definitely was in Aya's favor, but coming in with the Mega Blast and doing what we've seen Prince do up to this point, making reads, downloading his opponent, being like, this is what the situation is, this is how I'm going to respond to it.
Yeah, and Prince making the choice to drop the Mega Blast for the Shuriken. Interesting. Since you know, we're looking at completely new arms, right? It's an electric chakram type arm, I believe. So it's gonna be. It's really interesting, their choices of arms. They've both got a poison, but with the way that they're planning their stuns is a little bit different. Prince with the full paralysis, Aya with the freezing Crackomander there.
Indeed, both very well set up. I like that poison is kind of the choice of a lot of what would essentially be considered the meta arms before, like the Biffler and the Toaster, have been replaced with poison elements, which has just brought the use of poison as an element far more commonly. And that's another really nice touch that Arms Remix has over its predecessor.
Oh, for sure. Like that's absolutely one thing that I would love to see changed in ARMS 2 is I think we just really need some good, or not even like some good, but some more poison option. It's just so underutilized.
What I'm eager about is the fact that there's probably going to be new types. There's going to be new ailments that'll kind of roll in.
Honestly,
good combo.
I don't know that I want to see new ones as much as I want to see like refinements and like more variety in the current ones. I think that'd be exciting enough.
Well, I'd be more happy with them refining each of the elements, but there's no way they're not adding at least one new type in like an update or something like that.
True.
Like we need the Waluigi type.
I would love that. Yeah. Very solid dancing around the stage that they're doing right now. Both being very, maybe like a little too cautious. I think for good reason, trying to wait out those rushes.
Trying to just win the boxing match. Prince absolutely would, but Mander comes out so quickly that Aya was able to win it out. But despite that, Prince is still going to be able to claim the point, had enough health to tank that rush, and just land that little bit more damage to continue fighting and claim a victory, which means that Prince will get his shot at a rematch with Astro Ninja. Do you think he's changing things up at all?
I don't know. I don't know. So like, look, here's the thing, right? Because I love Prince. I love watching Prince. But if there's anything that I know about Prince, like personally, is that he's very kind of stubborn, very hard-headed, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe like some minor tweaks. Maybe he was kind of using Aya as a test bed to test out a couple of things to use against Astro. Maybe we'll see that Mega Blast. But overall, I think we're going to end up seeing, you know, some really similar things that end up mirroring their last match. Prince is just going to be a little too determined to make it work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's funny to be like a player that is about adaptation and getting the download on players, but also being a little strong-headed and kind of stubbornly marching onwards.
Well, because
like,
you gotta know that you got the right download. You gotta know that you downloaded it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see that. So there's only one way for us to really see how this plays out, and that is going to be now that Astro's waited for us. Now apparently we have to wait for Astro again.
Thank you, Astro. We love being a catty, passive-aggressive commentary booth. It is kind of our thing.
But yeah, in regards to this, I know we haven't seen Prince really play with these. I would really love to see a Slicer. I would love to see one of those Manders. The Bennu is definitely working out well. It could be a really interesting pick against Dr. Coil, but Dr. Coil is sneaky enough that she can get around that one too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I think that the thing that I want to see, like you said, is a Slicer. I want to see like how valid it is against Coil, if that makes sense. I just don't know that Prince is the guy who will bring it out. I don't know how much he's practiced the Slicer, because it's actually a newer one. It wasn't in the original release of ARMS Remix, so this is something that was just brought out for the most recent update.
Yeah, it's a very experimental weapon, but we have seen SNG demonstrate just how capable of an arm it is. And if he could just like take a minute while they're stage striking and just like play in the lobby and punch a couple of dummies, you probably get a good idea on how it kind of moves. I really feel like it could work against Coil.
I feel like it's absolutely like a counter against like your really horizontally mobile characters. Like, I think it'd be really good against Coil, Mechanica, Twintel. It's fantastic against. Again, you cannot convince me that SNG didn't make it as a Twintel counter. And then there was one other I was thinking of too. It has escaped me.
Helix?
No, I think Helix is too vertical. Princessine the Lollipop? I'm completely wrong. Commentator's curse strikes again. I look like a dumbass? Oh my
This
God.
is an interesting loadout. We've got a few different arms coming in. We have the Felian, which... No, that's not the Felian. Which dragon is this one? Let me just scroll through my... Yeah, this is the Raiju, which is a shock dragon. And we are going in with the... Yeah, what's this one called? The Biffster. So, sticking with that poison type arm, but we've got an electric stun dragon. Works kind of similarly to Ice Dragon, but rather than going for Twin 5-0'd Ice Chains of Doom, you get the shock and you kind of just go for a clean grab afterwards.
Speaking of clean grabs, I didn't expect Prince to just get that off there. That was clean.
That was really nice.
Astro not too happy about it,
Ooh,
sharing that rush right into
one.
his face, but whew.
Managing to get a couple of hits on Astro, but right now this is just looking like an Astro's game, just catching Prince and being like, nah, you can't be clowning around against me.
Yeah, no, I see. I think like the biggest thing in that round one, and we're seeing a change, but not the one I would have made myself. Because I think that the Reju is a really solid choice for the match against Astro, but I'm not too sure that the Biffster is actually doing any favors. It's just so small and kind of like hard to hit, especially with how mobile Coil is.
Yeah, it's definitely proving to be a bit of a hassle to be able to catch her with it. Having the Goopy is pretty nice too, because much like the Toxin, it is just a very clean, very steady punching arm that comes out fast. Works in a different way, where maybe he's kind of opted for not going for the poison stacks to slow, and more just like disrupting vision and making it really difficult for Astro to see. So he's having to go off of audio cues to respond.
Yeah, well, that was very unfortunate. Astro lost connection, so we're gonna wait for him to get back in here, and then we're just gonna run that back.
I will take a moment to remind everybody that this and many other tournaments that are happening to celebrate the ARMS anniversary are actually being funded by a Matt Torino post, and I will just drop it here again. I think I'm dropping the link weirdly, or the link isn't working exactly.
Oh,
but
you know what? You know what? It might be a thing with like my YouTube chat. Send me the link and I'll drop it.
I already posted it. If you just want to copy and paste it in chat.
Oh no, it's in like thing. I don't see it at all.
Oh,
it's just not there.
It's sussy.
Yeah, it's being a little sussy. YouTube thinks you're up to something.
Here. Then people might not have seen the other link that I posted too. So I'll send you my Ko-fi, Ko-Felicious, and then if people want to check that out, then they can check that out that way too.
Yep, sounds good. There we go.
Reminder that I am trying to raise money to buy a computer that is not from 2009.
God bless.
There are people watching this that are younger than the computer that I am on right now, which is the one that I will be using to stream tomorrow's tournament. We live in a wild world. Alright, so trying this again. It's an interesting situation where we're kind of going for a reset, but both players... Well, no, yeah, we're going to let Astro get the first point. But, yeah, are we? I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, we're
really
running
silly.
it back. No, yeah, they're running it back. They're running it back, resetting the match. so that way they can just replay round 2.
All right.
Also, was that Bite in the background in like the? Has he always been there?
Yeah, Bite is not a single character. That he is a part of Beach Patrol. There are multiple Bites that exist in this world.
How blind am I? Oh my gosh.
It's hard to notice when you're busy fighting for your life. I will justify your blindness in that it took me a while to see, and it's very hard to notice the scenery around when you're fighting for your life. Like, if you look around, even from a position like this, you can kind of see where those 2, like, sporty minigame events that happen are here too. Like, this is clearly the same stage. They're not too far away.
Oh yeah, they are way back there. I remember SNG, tonight's Lord and Savior, put out a kind of like a boundary break inspired video. It was really cool and covered like that part of it. It was really neat. Man, Astro playing that rush game. Playing that
we got some blind
game.
chain. Not going to be able to hold it for long because we're just a little too far away. But yeah, no, Astro's just tearing this round apart as well. Out comes the rush. Another excellent catch seen. Prince just stuck in the slightest of dashes. And that is going to be match 1, or set 1 claimed by Astro.
Yeah, that was just match 1, right? Like I didn't miss
set
something. Set 1.
So yeah,
I didn't forget.
So like the little blips are gains, in my terminology. A single point like that is set, and then the ultimate thing is match. Like like
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss like a point going to somebody, because I got a little distracted with the game crashing and all that stuff. So yeah.
It's a little bit chaos. Fortunately, we're a team. We're covering each other, making sure things are working fine. One of us trips on our face, the other steps in and yaps for a minute, and then that person immediately trips on their face, and then the one that you get up, start yapping for a bit, and then I watch you trip over, and then I gotta go back to yapping before I trip again.
Man, I tell you, I am so glad to have somebody catch me while I'm tripping. So for like a couple of events now, I have been like you and like solo commentating, and it is so hard. Like the commentating is easy, but like the running, like the stream while doing it, it's so hard. Y'all just don't understand. But anyway, speaking of hard, take a look at this matchup.
Okay, yeah, you meant it that way. Yeah, this is a very difficult matchup. And Prince going in with a very interesting swap here. Going back to Springtron, we've got the Trifrost brought out again. And what's meant to be... Actually, no, this is the original arm. I think this is like, in the final files, this is the original glove. It's the Apex that Prince has brought out. Oh yeah, no, that's
brought it out.
Arm.
No.
Oh yeah, Astro's even got the Apex on one side too. It's a cute little bit of lore that is like, I believe what happened was that SNG found that file lying around, like that's an asset of Brass's that's kind of like in his trophy room or whatever, and was like, I could just put this on a character and all of a sudden it's usable. Let's just do that.
I'm so impressed by like SNG's dedication towards like Remix and how much care and love is in it for like the franchise. Like I don't know, man. There's more love in it than Nintendo's ever given us, and I appreciate that. But
I don't remember
about
who wrote
later.
The description for it. I want to just read it quickly, because Apex has a really cute one. It's lonely at the top, but with this unique arm in your arsenal, you carry this on the spirit of countless fighters, fans, and friends. Truly, love conquers all.
What a good arm to bring into grand finals. An arm that truly represents love that they used to beat each other's faces in.
Exactly.
Very solid set get by Astro. Now, if y'all remember their first matchup earlier this evening, it was kind of looking the same a little bit. Where Astro was up 2, and then Prince, just a legendary run to go and bring it back to a tied situation to go into round 5. I don't know. Do you think we'll see more of the same? Do you think Astro's gonna... Do you think they're gonna put a show on for us?
I absolutely am hoping that Prince has something cooking to be able to respond to the situation, but it's one of those cases where I am a little worried. I have faith in Prince as a player with his skills and abilities, but Astro is another beast. And we see a lot of clever comebacks
Double
and strategies.
coil on sparring ring? Double coil across the sky?
A lot of reversals. But Astro's coil is just one of those things that are typically unmatched. We'll have to see if this is the answer, though. Prince going in with the alt skin for Dr. Coil. I don't remember what this is a reference for. I know this is a reference to something, but it looks so good.
Yo, Prince with these grabbies? Oh, he got some grabby hair. Oh, the stun with the grabby hair. He just cannot keep his grubby little mitts off of Astro.
Astro is currently getting trounced right now by the power of Fun Chuck and Apex.
Prince, you gotta stop grabbing him. It's too much.
No, please keep doing it. Please keep doing it. That's how you get the KO. Grab him more, give him hugs, show him that love conquers all.
Right in the face. Oh my gosh. Oh, just right with that Apex. Oh, I love to see it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's Max Brass, Dr. Coil. I see it now. Oh, she looks so good with this color.
She's so good. Yeah, no, it's so good. Oh, they both have their rushes. Oh, Prince whiffs it. Astro gets it. Sharing is caring, kids.
Whew. Sharing is caring. Love conquers all. Out comes the 2 rushes, and Astro now holding on to that point lead, continuing to just chip away at Prince off of what was a very satisfying round for Prince, but Astro's quickly gathered his own footing and is like, oh, right, okay, we're playing this game. I'm not going to play the game. I'm going to take you down. Sets up some strong damage, but Prince with a effective rush manages to secure a lot of damage. Definitely dodges the rush, reach him out! But 2-3 punches down, and Prince is on final bar of health. If he could get one good hit with that shock chuck, or whatever it's called, he would be able to bring things back. But Astro going to be able to save another round.
I'm so okay with us going to round 3, though. Oh my gosh.
Volt chuck, that's what it's called. Heading into our next round. Go ahead, quickly.
Oh, yeah. Before this round, I didn't know how much I messed with the idea of, like, an electric nunchuck. I mess with it heavy, though. That is... Oh, that's so good.
Ooh, out comes the rush. Oh, no, Prince getting red right as Astro. Yeah, Astro read the movement, and then Prince reactionarily moved in the exact same direction and got caught up in the storm, just so caught in the movement that he thought he was dodging out of the way. Probably it's just kind of slid in and got that hard red. Misses the grab that would have been a point for him. He still has health, though. He still has a lot of room to get that
one hit, that one grab, that one just anything to go and secure the match win.
Rush.
Oh, and there it is. He grabs it out of the rush. And
that is another point.
Ooh.
That is a first point for Prince in this grand final match.
Yo, so listen. I know I was talking about, like, a Prince comeback, just like a straight run back in order to get us that tied game going into round 5. I did not expect to see it with a coil, let alone one that matches Astro's coil. That was so insane.
I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of that was the Volt Chuck, and the reason why a lot of it was the Volt Chuck was because there's like the Toxin would be pretty good still, but the big reason why the Volt Chuck works so well is because there's not an arm like the Toaster anymore, which means that all the gloves that are kind of sitting around being looked at on the field, they're all countered really well by a Chuck. They're all slow enough.
Oh,
Apex gets a little bit bigger.
We're seeing a literal double. Astro has stolen Prince's arms in a determined stance that he can do it better than Prince.
But yeah, no, the thing is just like all the gloves are just that slow enough that Chuck it has to come out because it's one of the few things that can actually win the boxing match. And he says he can wield it better. He's currently holding on to a sizable lead, a huge amount of control and tempo in this situation right now. Out comes the rush, both stuck in a boxing match, but it's going to be Astro pummeling through. Prince not able to bring out his shield. He's not able to get the trade going on.
And that hurts so much because now Prince is going into the second round with no rush to show for what just happened.
This is tournament point. Prince switching over to double gloves. If he can get the right reads on the moment, he might have a chance on this. But the problem is if Astro just uses the Volt Chuck like Prince was using against him, he's literally just given the game to Astro. Like, this is so difficult for Prince to be able to handle if Astro is using the Volt Chuck properly. And what we're seeing right now, he's using it properly. He knows what's going on. And he is just playing around Prince.
He's using it properly, but at the same time, Prince knows exactly what that Volt Chuck can and will do. So he is just not letting Astro land it easily. Really impressive how he really isn't letting Astro play his usual rush game either. He is successfully avoiding, blocking everything when it comes to those Astro rushes.
Out comes the rush. It's another blocked one. Neither has yet to make a clear, concise hit. Though, Prince has managed to get the odd chip hits here and there and has finally brought Astro to critical health. There is a rush ready just above 50% health. If Astro can easily bring him to critical with this weakened shield as he continues chipping away at this health. He is reading Prince. He's got him backed against the wall. He knows Prince is afraid and he reads him out and closes the tournament. He saw the fear in Prince's eyes.
The base game is not enough for him. Astro came in, worked his way through winners, and took Remix Rumble all for himself. It doesn't matter if it's ARMS, doesn't matter if it's Remix, Astro will find a way. And I think, yeah, no.
I gotta get going. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Oh, no, you're good. So I think tonight we've had an absolutely incredible night as far as ARMS goes, as far as Remix goes. I know that this Remix event is something that SNG has been trying to put together for a while now, like a very, very long while, which is why now that we've got everything closed out, I have a special guest for us. If he come in. And there he is, the man of the hour, our special guest, SNG. Thank you for joining us in the booth. I'll let you go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Well, first of all, I am very glad that we finally got a bracket for this thing running. ever since I made the mod back in 2022, I've been wanting to run a bracket, and honestly, I'm surprised it went as smooth. I'm surprised it went as smooth as it did right now. And barely any lag, because I was watching the stream on the side. Barely any lag playing either. It's all insane, and I'm so happy to finally see it realized.
Yeah, and it's super awesome to be a part of it, and I really get to help host tonight too. I think it's really incredible what you've managed to make for us. Like I was glazing earlier, like during some of the matches, just some of the small touches. You know, some of the little details that go into this mod to make it what it is like a true kind of like celebration of ARMS, while also kind of like redefining it. I think it's really incredible what you've made, and I think you should be really proud of yourself. One question
Yep.
I have for you, right? The slicer, right? I know, and the audience knows how much you hate twin tail, right? Is that a direct twin tail counter? Like, did you do that on purpose? Because it seems very strong against twin tail, especially.
I'll be real with you, I kind of figured that it would be a good counter against her right on the fly. I was adamant on going min because I wanted to show Slicer off, but then as I played I realized, wait a second, this kind of nullifies Twin Tail Aura. And the Slicer itself, it wasn't made by me, it was probably made by someone on the dub team, Kosuke Ibuki, whoever. It was a file in the game that went unused for a weapon class called Blade, and then I just kind of refurbished it for use on vanilla, and that's what became the Slicer and the Bane.
Okay, so you definitely added it in as a twin tail counter. That's awesome, dude. I'm
No,
so
I
glad
didn't.
that you could do that. I'm so glad you could do that.
I didn't.
Yeah, but yeah, so I just want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out and watching. Tonight has been a lot of fun. I hope everybody had fun playing and watching. I know it was really fun for me getting to watch something that's not base game like that. That's just really fun. So yeah, tell your friends about Remix. Download link is pinned in the YouTube chat. I'll have it in the VOD description, and like the individual matches when they get uploaded to ARM Central. Make sure to tell your friends, but not Nintendo. Not Nintendo. Technically, what we've done tonight is not like super kosher. So like, you know, don't tell Yabuki. Don't tell
Brett.
Miyamoto. What?
Brett, my good buddy, how much of a brand risk are you willing to become tonight?
It depends. What do I have to say?
No, I am the one who's gonna be talking.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go for it then. I don't care.
Damn. Okay, so we all know emulation is for some people a pain to set up, but if you join my server SNG Cord, there is a specific channel on my server which some of us would consider a goldmine on how to get started on, you know, playing Remix on your super special Nintendo Switch.
Absolutely,
So,
don't tell Nintendo we're saying that though. Don't tell Nintendo.
Yeah, so if you're interested in playing Remix and you want a good starting point, then definitely check out my server and the chat I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%. And SNG, before we close things out, where can we find you? Where can we find new updates about Remix? Do you have anything planned for the future? I know we've talked about like tiny things. Anything you feel like sharing that you want to do next?
I think the big headliner right now for me is this tournament was a success on all fronts. So, and I know there's a lot of people that joined initially that couldn't make it to a tournament, unfortunately. But I think after seeing this in action, I'm happy to say that I'm definitely running more Remix Rumble in the future. So those people who want to get some piece of cake of this Remix action, they're going to be able to in the future through the sparring stadium. I mean Arms Labs Trials, which is the server we run Sparring Stadium on. We will definitely be running future Remix Rumble installments there, so just stay tuned for it. As to where to find me, I'm mostly active on Twitter right now. Just the whole planning of this tournament kind of has taken me away from making videos, but there are 2 big videos on the way, no doubt about that. So you can find me on my Discord server, my Twitter, sometimes on Twitch, and of course my YouTube channel.
Which is, of course, all SNG_arms for everything?
Yep. Except for my Twitter. My Twitter's Super N Guy.
Ah, that's right, yes. Well,
Yeah.
I think that about does it for tonight. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all of our competitors tonight for making this happen and giving us such a great show. Genuinely, these were such fun matches to watch and put on and commentate. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Maleev, for joining me in the booth. I always love having a +1 and not being by myself. Thank you, SNG, for making this mod and making this happen and allowing all of us to be a part of it. And yeah, we're going to catch you all tomorrow for Central Smackdown is happening, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Central Smackdown tomorrow. So I believe we're going to be doing that on Maleev's Twitch channel, Planet Scrapstar? Do you know?
You'll be commentating too?
No, I've not been asked to, and frankly, I'll do it if I'm asked, but honestly, I would kind of like a break. That would be very nice. But I don't know. If I don't get asked to commentate, maybe I'll play. Maybe I'll have fun. Maybe you should sign up in the bracket too. I'll go ahead and post a link in the chat. And thank you all for watching. I'm going to let you go and enjoy your nights now. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for joining.